week, honestly. Bonk, good to see you. Guys, yeah, hope everyone adjusted okay to the time change this morning. I've been up since like 5:30, 5 in the morning. Don't ask me what happened. No, we know what happened. We go to bed at 9. It's okay though. Feeling refreshed, honestly. Did a little bit of work before stream, and now we're just waiting. Cook up some stuff, and then we get to watch the F1 race after with our friend. Cookie, good to see you too. Welcome in, Lauren. The crew is here. Titan, I hope you're having a good weekend. Luminology, this menu is fire. Can we come over? Yes. Yes, I actually do have extras. If you're being serious, I will make enough. Boris, got any of the brownies left over for Brecky? That's what we were joking about in Discord. There's a few. Okay, so Sam did a test yesterday, and it seemed to really affect him more than me, but you also had quite a few. So he ended up having like 4 whole squares and then one of the triangle like side pieces because we baked it round, don't ask. So he had 4.5. And then I had a couple things to do because I was baking bread and stuff after stream. So I didn't end up having any brownies really until, what time was that? Like 7-ish? 7:30-ish? And I had 2.5. But like the only thing that happened is I was just fighting to keep my freaking eyes open, watching TV. So they're not energizing brownies, they're sleepy time brownies. That's my report on those. But yeah, we have some left. We're gonna give a couple to our friend that comes over today. Excited about that. Guys, we've been munching on the bread that we made the dough yesterday. Oh my gosh. It's like the best sourdough bread I've made yet. So I'm very excited about that. Hi, Scoots. Welcome in. Scoots, was it you yesterday in Discord that I didn't see your message to raid your friend until after the stream? It was. Okay, so now you're here. Is your friend still streaming today for the charity? Because I will raid them if so. I'll write it down on my list so I don't forget. Hi, Reg. Sleep is underrated. You'll get all the sleep you need when you're dead. I wish I was that way. I totally wish I was that type of person. Where if I didn't have to sleep, I totally wouldn't. But I am a person that like needs all of the sleep, unfortunately. That's how I function. Didn't go to bed until 2 a.m. and I woke up like 3 hours after that. Amazing. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the updates on Discord and my little bread story of baking. So that's what I was doing while Sam's like fighting for his life on the couch. Was like, am I cooking dinner? Like, what is even going on? So I crushed the bread. I made us some yummy pierogies and bacon, and that was dinner last night. Really easy. Okay, let's get into it. We are making eggs Benedict today. This is something that we've made quite a few times on stream. I didn't go into Discord and count over the years how many times, but probably more than 10 times. In almost 7 years, maybe. We definitely make this at least once a year. Okay, so today's rendition, I did do a little marination, let's say, on our chicken tenders. So yesterday, in the bag, I poured our chicken tenders, and then I just did a bit of cream. You could do buttermilk, whatever you want. And then just a touch of hot sauce. So that's why it's kind of like orangish. And then I got Samo to mix it all up when he did come back to life. He did not die last night. He did come back to me. I was very impressed. He did great. Yeah, he came back, had a shower, and was like ready for dinner. I was like, wow, funny how that happens. Hey. It's okay. I took care of you. I know that you would do the same for me. With his face. Okay, so that's the story on the chicken. You guys know that he's great. Okay, I like to marinate chicken in like buttermilk, right? Buttermilk marinated chicken is always going to be the best fried chicken. So that's kind of what I thought. Oh, I forgot to say the half lemon juice. So a little bit of acid, a little bit of something creamy, and if you want a touch of hot sauce for flavor, go for it. Maybe I'll just leave those out now. that we went over it. That way they can temp up. And then we just have to get them prepped for frying. Samuel's going to help us fry those today. We'll do them in, I think, the cast iron pan in a bit of peanut oil and chicken fat together for extra flavors. Yet it is, did I say welcome in? I don't think so yet. And hi, CJ Dewey. That's teamwork. Exactly. Exactly. Okay, and then here's our English muffin dough. Look at our timings. So we finished yesterday mixing the dough at 1:27 p.m. This morning, so you can see the time, 5:45 a.m. I was like, I don't want it to overproof, and it was looking really like nice and poofed up when I woke up this morning. So I was like, well, I don't have room really in the fridge to put this big bowl. So I just put it outside because it was like hovering around 0 degrees Celsius outside this morning. And then, so I left it out for about 3 hours just so it didn't overproof, because that's the last thing you want to happen with sourdough. If you let your sourdough overproof, it probably won't come back to life when you go to bake it again, and you'll have just like a brick. So yeah, that was what I didn't want to happen. So this has been in the house since 9 a.m. So for about 3 hours, because we wanted it to be warm or like close to room temp, not cold, for us to now divide it into our English muffins. And I believe the recipe said 10 it makes, but I think it's been fun to like just kind of watch our timing so you guys can see as well how long things take. Put it into a deep sleep. Exactly. I was really happy with how it rose overnight, and then the temp of the house was hovering around, like, I just used my instant thermometer, right? Because you can do that. Just be like, oh, what's the room temp right now? Well, in here it's currently 74. So yeah, when it was warm, when I went to bed after doing all the baking, it was around 76, and then when we sleep it's around 70. So as long as it's not too warm in your house, you could easily proof your sourdough bread overnight without like worrying when you're sleeping, like, oh my gosh, is it gonna overflow? You love English muffins, Lauren. I love them too, especially homemade. I've never made this recipe before or made sourdough ones, but I'm very excited to try them. The other recipe I usually make is the King Arthur baking one. So much fun. So much fun. You have an egg and cheese egg McMuffin almost every day, but you make it yourself. I think that's such an easy and like inexpensive breakfast to make yourself, because the price that you will pay at fast food places now, whoa-ly. Right, guys? It's so expensive, fast food. And the other thing is breakfast foods aren't expensive to buy from the store. You usually even have everything in the fridge already. Yes, you always need some form of mayo with egg sandwiches, at least in my mind. Even if it's just egg and cheese, still need a little bit of mayo. Okay, did I post the menu yet? Yes, I did up there. Or Reg did. Thanks, Reg. Open up those recipes. We'll go over them, make our little prep list-a-roo. We'll start with the muffins. Divide those up because the recipe says it'll take around an hour for them to proof again, and then we can, we can say bake, but they do get finished on the stovetop. Saturday is Bambi season there. And ours like starts earlier, I guess. Hey, Sam, because your dad's already been out for a while. Bambi season. Oh, he put his headphones in, so he's not listening at all. Noted. He says, that's enough with my wife. Okay, Gearbox Man, hello. Fall back 1 hour in California. Same with Canada this morning. It was really confusing because I looked at my phone and it was a different time than what was on the stove, right? It's like, oh no. Yeah, he's just ignoring us. He's building his factory. What are you doing? He's driving a car. Driving a car, focused on that. He's racing. Bonk can see. Bonk's like, what is he doing? Forza Horizon 4 is the report. Thank you. What is my husband doing, Bonk? I love it. Okay, so first things first. What did I say to you? What was I talking about, guys? Oh, the Bambi season. Titan said on Saturday Bambi season started, but I said I thought ours starts earlier in Canada because your dad's already been out for how long?
Archery starts earlier.
Oh, archery. Archery, that's the difference. Now we know. Now we know. Tattling, I love it. Okay, so muffins, let's just write that on the list. Let's say divide 10. We're going to do it a bit different than the recipe, don't worry. And then wait 1 hour. We'll set our timer. And then what do they bake at? Oh, I'm looking for the bacon. We just do it on the stovetop. So let's say heat up the pan. We'll do this in our cast iron skillet. I'll just get it out now. And think of like the times that we've made pita breads or tortillas on stream together where you just have your nice hot pan and you bake it that way, flipping it over. That's exactly how you make the English muffins, guys. So we're going to start with those first because that'll be the longest process. And then we'll slowly load up the rest of the stovetop with our poached egg pot, the hollandaise pot, stuff like that. Lauren, you're going to have one of the gummies. You won't regret it. Like I said, those were really nice. We had those years ago. Actually, we just had the memories popping up on my Facebook. We took a road trip down to the States all the way to Vegas like 6 years ago. 6 years ago? That's too long. Okay, she says about 4 minutes per side to cook the English muffins. So we can time those later if we want. Up to you guys. All right, other things. So our chicken next is what we'll prep because that's the next longest process. It's already marinated like I showed you guys, but we need a dredging station. So we'll go with flour and then egg wash and then some breadcrumbs. We're going to use fine breadcrumbs today, so it's not like insanely crunchy with the eggs Benedict. And then obviously for the chicken, we want to prep our oil. Oil does take a little bit of time to heat up properly. You want to get it at the right temperature for deep frying. So I usually like to get it to around 350 Fahrenheit. And then once you put your food in, it usually cools it down a bit. So just watch that. I usually kind of turn the burner up for the first rendition. And then after that, it kind of evens its heat out. We'll use a thermometer anyways in the oil the whole time. And that's really all we have to watch, is that it doesn't get too hot so that the chicken doesn't burn before it's cooked inside. And then you don't want your oil to be too low temp either, because then it just soaks up all the oil like you're breading. And it doesn't really get as crispy. It's just not as good of a product. So those are my notes there. McCormick makes mayo? I've never heard of this before. Lauren's doing a deep clean of the apartment today. Yeah, we did a bit of cleaning this morning too. It felt so good. And it doesn't even take long. It's like a 30-minute tidy up and it's like, holy shit, we're like good for another week. McCormick is one of the top 3 mayo producers in the world. I never knew that. Thank you for that. And that's the brand they sell it under, or do they sell it under a different brand then? All right, carrying on. So we got our fried chicken, our English muffins, like I said, our poaching pot. So that's just water with a bit of vinegar to poach our eggs later. And then lastly, our hollandaise. Only thing we have to prep ahead of time for the hollandaise is our butter. A little bit of clarification. We'll clarify it before we use it. That's just traditional, and then I'll show you the rest of the way how to make the hollandaise sauce. We'll make it from scratch by hand. I don't usually do a blender hollandaise unless I'm making a larger batch. I think that's it. It's labeled as McCormick. Mostly found in commercial kitchens. Over this past several years, it's been popping up in retail stores. $8 a jar. It's not cheap. What the heck? I've never heard of this. Mexico's #1 brand? My mind is blown right now. They have one with lime juice. Oh, yo, I would try that. Cookie, maybe you'll put hollandaise on your burger later. Flip the table. Cookie's going all in. Have I had a burger with hollandaise on it before? I think so. Was it a Ramsay burger? It might have been a Ramsay burger. Misha's here. Guys, Misha's actually here with us today, and thank you very much. 52 months in a row. You're getting up there on the long resubs. And what? 6 months in advance. She's like, just in case I forget, I'm just going to be here for another 6 months. You're really committing, I see. That means 6 more months of feta. Walfart has 28-ounce jar for $7 US. I'm so intrigued right now. So intrigued. Yeah, 12 years old. Right. All right, let's get our muffins over. We'll divide them up. I think we'll just put them onto parchment to proof again. Make sure that they don't stick together when we do that, and then we'll do the rest of this stuff. Thing about this, you can't be scared. You just gotta go for it. Oh my gosh, there's the double alert still. Just in case we forget. It still exists here too. You're welcome. You're welcome, guys. I don't think I've made English muffins since we moved from the island, pretty sure. I don't believe I've done homemade English muffins since we moved back to this place. Is that crazy, guys? We're gonna roll these out just on the cutting board I used yesterday. Just grab that first. And then maybe we'll need a bit of flour. And then just a bench scraper. And we'll prep up our pan with some parchment and just set it beside yourself, so that we don't have to get flour everywhere. I was also really impressed with these because I was kind of worried about my starter being not as active as it should be. But yeah, these rose up, no problem. So that tells me that my starter is really nice and happy, even if I only feed it every 2 weeks. It's overdue. That's true. That's a better word to say. So the F1 race this weekend, guys, is in Brazil. And the rain was so bad yesterday. Usually they have qualifying to see what places everyone starts at. They have it on Saturdays. The rain was so bad that they had to qualify first thing in the morning today. And then the race is going to be later on. But I'm also excited because one of the things we do with our friend is we kind of play with the theme of where the race is that day. And he likes to enjoy some alcoholic drinks when we watch together. So he'll always bring the beverage and we provide the food. So today he's making caipirinhas, if anyone's had those before. I haven't had them in a long time, so I'm actually really excited about it. I don't know what type he's making either. There's just a bit of sugar on top of this lid, so I don't want to get it on the board when we open the flour. There we go. You had fried grapes today? Tasted horrible. Can't recommend. Is that something I've seen on TikTok recently? Fried grapes? Maybe. I mean, I don't think I would try that, but thanks for the report just in case I did want to. Look at how stretchy this is. Caprinas. It's so hard to say the word caipirinhas. Sometimes I get it right, other times I don't. But isn't that a fun tradition? And yeah, he really loves hollandaise sauce, homemade, and eggs Benedict, so that's why we have this today. So we'll provide the foods. He'll provide a little bit of drinks. Mickey, how's it going, my guy? No pub this weekend, I'm sure. Enjoy your takeaways. I'm just like shaking the dough out in this one pile, you'll see. Boom. And I'll scrape the rest. Is my starter still a teenager? I don't think so now. It might be an adult. I have to look back to see when we actually made Goldilocks number 4. Okay, that's everything. And it looks like we gotta maybe do a bit of flour on top. Let's see. So how I usually prep my dough for dividing, tap it all out, pat it out into like a rectangle, and then you can equally divide it. And this also takes the excess air out, which is really important at this step. Exactly what I did with the bread loaves last night. It filled out the entire cutting board that I'm working on. And then I just divided it into 3 that way and rolled them on up. Okay, so we want, it says 10 English muffin buns. So we'll go in half, and then we'll do each side into 5. And yes, you can see it's a bit sticky, but that's how it should be. Trust. And you can kind of pre-mark them if you need. If you're like, I don't know if I'll do it right, like that. But we can always adjust after as well. If we're like, oh, this one's a bit smaller, this one's a bit larger, you can always just take a bit of dough off and transfer it. So we'll do all of our portions first, and then we'll ball it all up. It's so sticky. Oh, you've never had a Caprinia bonk. I actually thought you might have, out of anyone. Has anyone else had those? Okay, that was a bit too far for that one. There. Can sourdough starters go bad? They can. They can definitely go bad. If you get a bad, like, bacteria in there by accident, they can go bad. That's what I'm always scared of. But I think as long as you're like a clean human, you don't really have to worry about that. Let's go ahead and start rolling these. So the recipe, how it said, is pat it out like we just did, but then she would have taken a ring mold and put your little rings out instead of us cutting it and then balling it that way. But I think this is so much easier to do, and then this way we don't have any waste. Is the thing I hate about cutting things into circles, like donuts and stuff. It is a bit sticky. Let's see if I'll just roll it right on the board. Yeah, they're basically a Brazilian margarita. Really refreshing, not too sweet at all. And the cachaça. Yum. Okay. So there's our little dough ball. The seam is underneath. You can't even really see it now. And then we're going to put this. I forgot this little step too. We'll just bring this over. Zoom out. I'm going to go grab the cornmeal. We're going to dust all this parchment lined sheet pan with cornmeal before we set our little dough balls on. And that creates a really nice barrier when we go to cook it in the pan, because you can see this is pretty sticky. It won't stick to the pan, and then the cornmeal just toasts up and it's yummies. Yeah, like some people, Luminology transfers the starter to a freshly washed jar every time they feed it. I will admit, I don't go that crazy with it. Since I started my starter, that's the same container the whole time. I just make sure that I keep it clean. Wipe it up really good if I see I made a mess, and that is honestly it. Just take this down while I do it. I don't want cornmeal where we're rolling stuff out. And so Cookie's also saying, which I never really thought of this, but makes sense. The stronger your starter is, so kind of the older it is, the less likely it is to go bad. It's like you build up an immune system, right? For it. This is how I like to imagine things to make sense in my head. Right, pick that up. And that's all I did. And then now, because we don't want these to dry out either, I'm just gonna go get a clean dish towel and lay that over the top for them to proof. And then that also kind of keeps the warmth in there, so you don't get too cool. Yeah, I usually just keep that towel right over top and then lift it as you put the rolled dough in there. Let's get a bit more flour. This is the hardest step for me today, is getting all these ready and then cooked off. You need a bit of friction on your board. That's why I like kind of work the flour in at first so it doesn't stick to my hand. And then I push with my thumb and I kind of roll with these 3 fingers while putting pressure right here on the dough ball itself. If you get really good, you can do both hands at the same time, but we're looking for a nice shiny surface like that and smooth. It's really sticky. It's kind of crazy how sticky it is. I can't handle it. Yeah, this board, it fits perfectly on the wooden one underneath. We got it from Business Costco, or it's also the same boards that you'll use in a restaurant a lot. Just have different colors for the different things. And that's cool. You've made bagels from scratch, which is definitely not an easy process. I think you would be able to do it then, yet it is. This board, these big things like this that are flat but large, easy to store somewhere like upright. Rather than trying to like find space in a cupboard for it. This one feels pretty big. But I can even tell it's already rising again since we've even pushed it down and divided it. So it might not even take the full hour. Which that really tells us how good the starter is, because there's no commercial yeast at all in this. That would be super exciting for me. You're moving into a house in a few months. That's so exciting. I wish you all of the good luck, that everything goes good. I've done my fair share of moves over the years. Does it matter what kind of flour you use to feed the starter? And hi, Reformed Druid. I would say that's personal preference, the type of flour you use to feed your starter. I do a mix of whole wheat and all-purpose. And I also only use organic flour to feed my starter. I've seen and heard of people doing just like a rye starter. You can do buckwheat. You can just do all white flour in the starter, which is definitely the easiest, I would say. Just making a bit of room on the sheet pan. We're almost running out. Cooking is a challenge because your girlfriend is a restaurant owner, is helping you. She won't let you use anything that comes from a can or a bag. Whoa! Her Mexican restaurant is a from scratch kitchen, so she makes you do stuff the hard way. Well, I'll tell you that I think that's the most important thing to know and learn before you even use appliances to make life easier, let's say, to help you out. That's how we learn in culinary school too, is you have to do it from scratch way first. Like even when we made croissants in the pastry class, our first batch of croissants, yeah, we were rolling it all out by hand. And so it wasn't after you learned that for, like, it literally took almost, I think, 3 days by the time we folded all the butter in and then chilled the pastry every time. And then from there, we were allowed to use the sheeter to roll it out. And you really gained a respect for how much equipment helps you. Okay, that's all of our little English muffins. So I'll go grab my watch so I can set the timer on it for us. And it should be around an hour. Give you a little peek. That's how they look. So they should definitely double in size in that time. Let me just do a little cleanup here. It was kind of messy, but not too bad as far as dough things go. Next up, we'll prep our chicken dredging station for our fried chicken. And then into the hollandaise. And I forgot to write on the prep list, I thought it would be nice a bit of green onion sliced for garnish today to go with the fried chicken. I also have a bit of dill. I thought dill might be good too for that. Choose your own garnish. The time here is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's always funny when that happens. Camel? Okay, muffins. Divide into 10. Set the 1 hour timer. Set. And away we go. And then we already have our pan out on the stove top. We won't need any more flour, so we can put that away. But I will leave the cornmeal by the stove where we're going to bake the muffins on top, just for when we go to flip them over, because you want it for the other side too in the pan. So don't put that away yet. Oh, I guess I need the flour still for the dredge. But while I am back here, breadcrumbs. And then we just have to make our egg wash. I do like to season my flour for fried chicken, so it's not bland. We'll just do a bit of like seasoning salt, I think. Pretty basic, but still better than nothing. Dun, 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 dun. You love sourdough bread and you're thinking of doing your own. So I always link the recipes on the stream that I'm using for you guys as well. If you would like to check out the one from Little Spoon Farm, she has a lot of nice recipes for sourdough that are easy to follow. I would start there. Okay, let's come over here. Whenever we're doing chicken that's fried and we need to make a dredging station, I like to use pie pans or a shallow bowl. So it's not too hard to reach into. And then you don't have to put too much in there either to get everything covered. We'll do 2 of those and then a bowl. What do I usually do in the bowl? I think we'll do the flour in the bowl because that's the easiest one. Then we'll leave the flat pans for the egg wash and the breadcrumbs. And then you really don't need that much. I'm going to put a bit extra in today because we are planning to use up the rest of the tenders for dinner later. Keep that stuff in the fridge until we need it. That works for me. Okay, a little bit of seasoning in there. You could do like Italian seasoning, just salt and pepper. You could do a bit of granulated garlic, Tony Chachere's, kind of whatever you guys want. I did link a recipe for the fried chicken eggs Benny too. Not that I'm really following it, but if you guys wanted to make it, it looked good. First one, done. Second one, really easy. Just dry white breadcrumbs. My suggestion, go to the bakery section of your local grocery store and you can get them way cheaper. And it's fresh, right? From their fresh made bread. Honestly, tastes so good. I haven't had fried chicken without panko in a long time. Or yeah, you can make your own, that's true. We'll do a bit more. Like that. Right, we're doing breading on it. Or we're not doing any breading. I didn't really ask. Not breadcrumbs?
You want to do breadcrumbs? Let's do breadcrumbs then.
We could also do half and half. Karsus says breading.
Bread it.
Because they're nice and fine, I think it will be good. Okay, next one, we'll do a couple eggs cracked and then we'll thin it out. You could use milk, cream, even just water if you wanted to be less expensive. Egg wash. Whoa! Do I want a little whisk? I think so. Who is this? Who is this? Correct. Oh my gosh, it actually worked. We get all of them. Samo fixed it. Yes. And they're like back to back. Annie, you made it. Welcome in. I hope you're having a good Sunday. Thanks for coming in and gifting 5 subs to the channel again. 1,030 you're at now. Car says welcome as well. A little whiskey. Whiskey business? Okay, I did see that we had Whiskey Monster gifted a sub. Okay, we also have Baby Bat 65, K Fever, Bow to the Beard, I like that one, and Always Lurking 90. Welcome, friends, if you're new here. Hello. It's been a crazy week. I think we all feel that. But you're slowly getting caught up. We're just working right now on the dredge station for our fried chicken. I just divvied up back here. I like took apart the burner just now on our stovetop. Divvied up. Our English muffins are already rising up. Looking awesome actually already. Things are happening. Oh shoot, you had a difficult meeting with some parents on Friday. Not with your like class, but just being the chairperson for your department. One of the teachers. Oh no. I guess that's something that you have to kind of know is gonna happen, hey? Or it could happen. Not everyone's always gonna be a good fit either. That's the thing. Okay, I'm gonna crack the eggs in here first, whip them, and then add them to the pan after. It'll just be easier. And let's just take them all out, because we'll need more to poach anyways. Right, Cookie? That's always so stressful, dealing with those like personal scenarios. I like how you already have a term for them. Typical helicopter parents. Do they actually own a helicopter? My gosh. How many are left in here? Okay, we're not going to use all of those for the bennies. Mary says just in time. You're here, Mary. You made it. A lot of field trips and red hair. That sounds like the magic school bus.
That sounds like the frizz.
Mary, I know you have said, she says, Kate, how was yesterday? The report is they are sleepy time brownies. They are not energizing brownies. They should be labeled as in the couch.
Oh yeah, in the couch.
Sam had 4.5. And he was kind of fighting for his life. He said for about 25 minutes just to like not close his eyes and fall asleep. And he said to me, he knows that he was sitting there, but he didn't feel his body. So if that's any indication of how everything turned out. Yeah, really good for sleeping. And so then after, because I didn't do what he did, because I had to bake bread and make sure everything like that was good still and made us dinner. So it wasn't until later, like 7:30-ish, that I had 2.5. But then, yeah, the same thing. I was just like ready to go to bed. So not one of those edibles that makes you giggle like a little schoolgirl. Out of body experience. Greek sounds like I had too much. The more I have, the more sedating they are. Well, like I've had a couple different types of edibles before in my life. And like it was really hard to tell when these ones hit. Like, I didn't feel like I was overboard. But maybe that's just how it turned out, right? Because, like, I had way different experience before when I had, like, some lemon cake. Or this one time that we made, like, Reese's cupcakes. So I guess every strain's gonna be different, too, right? You don't know until you make it. But, yeah, they do seem strong, if that's what happened to Samo. Alright, so there is our egg wash. You don't want it too runny, but you don't want it so thick that like the eggs won't come back off. She was a strong one, I will say, Greek. Okay, let's put this back here where it's safe. And then lastly, I guess we don't really need the egg wash then. That was kind of wasteful. Maybe I'll just turn it into omelet later this week. Because, yeah, usually when you have your chicken like this, you can actually just go straight into flour if you guys want and then fry it. But, yeah, I guess we'll go, it'll almost be like a double bread. So we'll go from here into the flour so that it sticks, and then into the egg wash, and then the breadcrumbs. So this might turn out really good, actually. It's like a double dredge without trying. Okay. That's complete. Chicken, flour, egg, breadcrumbs, and then we just want our oil to 350 Fahrenheit. Why don't we grab the pan that we're gonna use to fry and get it filled to what we want, and we don't have to think about it again. Because these are tenders, they're not like super thick, right? So we don't need a ton of oil. I was gonna just do around 1 inch or so. And then you could always top it up if you notice it's getting too low. Had to do a shift with the leaves this morning, Annie. I'm just catching up on your guys' chat. It never ends, hey? Peanut oil is the best for frying. The only thing that was probably better is just straight beef tallow. I'll just leave this over here in case we need more. And then just for a bit of extra flavor, I'm not going to do that one. Definitely not going to do the can of butter. But I am going to put some chicken fat in, because I'm sick like that. Wasn't that so fun, Mary? I know Lauren said that was probably her last paddle of the season. But maybe she'll do some other streams that are similar to that. I'm just kind of scraping some of this stuff. I guess I don't really have to off the top of the fat before I scoop it. Do you ever keep a tallow named Tally? Do you ever keep a tallow tally? Me, personally, probably I would say yeah. We are up on the fat on this fridge. I remember there was a time there where I was getting kind of worried. My cooking fat jar was getting too low. I'm going to stop there with the chicken fat. Don't want to go too much. But my gosh, that's going to taste good. And then one other thing before we put it to the stove top, just our thermometer. Some people call it a candy thermometer. Some people call it a meat thermometer. And then this will just read the temperature of the oil as it comes up, so that we don't burn the chicken. And I'm pretty sure this is like from my grandpa. It's so dang old. I honestly don't know where I got it from. So that's what it is. And then all I usually do, so set it on the side. Is it gonna be good there? No, it doesn't fit by the handle. So I set it on the side, and then we don't want the bottom to touch the bottom of the pan. So you have to pull this up and out a little bit. And that's literally the only thing I kind of watch for. I don't know if that's gonna work, we'll see. But let's put that over on the stove. We're ready to go. Move the muffins. We need the other burner. Perfect. And perfect. Okay, next one. Before we make the poaching pot, we'll get the butter ready. clarified. Let's get a little pot. And I usually do, I think, a cup of butter for up to, let's say, 4 people. A cup of butter can make enough hollandaise for 4 portions. And then I think I usually do 3 egg yolks. But if you guys don't want my ratios, there's lots of different hollandaise recipes online. Lauren's going camping next weekend. Oh yeah, maybe she'll stream some. What happened here? Hello, camera? Are we okay? It's too shiny. It's too shiny, guys. Camera's like, oh my gosh, I can't see. Mary's asking, could you use tallow for making pie crust, savory pies that is? I believe that is actually what was originally used to make pastry back in the day, Mary. It wasn't butter. It was tallow that was rendered out from the animals. So I think, yeah, you can definitely use that in a savory pie crust because I use lard. I use lard. I don't use vegetable shortening. And I think it turns out way better with the lard than the Crisco. Same ratio. Like if you want, you can try it using the recipe that I do where there's a little bit of butter, but there is more lard than butter amount. Maybe start there and then slowly like cut back the butter amount until you're like, oh, that tastes really good. Okay, this is going over. Stove top is filled up. Turn this light on now. Get our little cover back on. Okay, so under here it's just our pan for the English muffins. Put these back over again one last time. And then we'll do our butter pot just in the front here. I'll turn it on to medium heat. And then I'll show you the 2 stages, let's say, that it's going to go through as it clarifies. I call them the foam stages because it kind of gets really bubbly. So that's for the hollandaise. We got the butter. While we're here, one last burner to fill out is the egg poaching pot. I think it's actually clean in the dishwasher. No, it does exist back here. It exists. And that is it. And we do want a lid for that one. So I'm going to fill it up with water, like about 3/4 of the way, let's say. You always need to leave a bit of room for your eggs still, right? And then for this size of pot, a tablespoon of vinegar should be good to help coagulate the egg whites. Yet it is. See, I love these stories. Your great-grandma lived on a farm. Lard was all she baked with. Your mom says it's made the best pastry she's ever had. Well, there we go. Yeah, I think butter was more of like a fancy ingredient back in the day. Let's go grab the vinegar. I just use white vinegar. I have before used apple cider, but I don't think I would suggest using like balsamic or sherry or anything like that. So just a drop. Put the lid on. That's a good looking stove top. Blondie, how's it going, dude? Good to see you. And then, yeah, seed oils, because I saw was that Bonk mentioned seed oils. Those weren't really used until around the World Wars. started happening, and then they had a big surplus afterwards because they helped run all the military vehicles, and then they marketed for human consumption. Delicious. Right, Mary? But we love grapeseed oil. It's so bad, but so good at the same time. Don't think about it too much. Okay, I'm doing one more peek over here. What is our report? Oh yeah, they're rising up. It is a bit cool in here. So maybe to expedite this process, I'll just turn on the oven. Just a pretend turn on. Warm it up a bit. And we'll leave those in there. We have 38 minutes or so left before we bake them. Wilson, welcome in. How's it going? Happy Sunday, my people. Already got the stovetop dirty from the English muffins. No, you're having a lazy Sunday? Same here. It's going good, though. Think you're gonna make a cake for Thanksgiving? Just need to hear what your niece's preference is. This sounds crazy back here. It's like, can you hear the bubbles? That should be nice and warm in there now. At least warmer than the room temp. Sweet. Okay, we got that good. That and that. I guess we can work on our garnish. Have a little bit of time. Sliced green onions. Do I even have green onions? Oh, you know what we might do actually? Go over to the Arrow Garden and just do, I have a little bit of chives that is almost as tall as the light. I'll do a bit of chive and dill. I think would be so yummy with the fried chicken, eggs benny. Yep. Okay, can I clear the area enough for you guys to even see? Maybe. What is the biggest block of butter you have bought, Kate, that was in one piece? I mean, I've never bought butter in anything more than a pound, I don't think. Trying to think, though, like, to culinary school, if we got larger than 1 pound blocks of butter, but I honestly don't think so. Only thing I've seen in mass quantities is like a bucket of margarine, which is wild. That's what I was trying to think, if we even used like the large pastry brick. Oops, wrong one. I was supposed to go to that one. The large, like, because sometimes they make bricks that are kind of already rolled out for when you make croissants, stuff like that, puff pastry. But I am pretty sure in culinary school, yeah, we were standing at the counter and beating the pound of butter down into that shape. We didn't get the ease of using it already rolled out. But Karsis says maybe they're like a 3 pound for lamination. You were, yeah, so Wilson worked at Sara Lee Bakery. You guys are so cool. Use 55 pound blocks. 4 blocks per batch. Oh my gosh. I love these kind of stories. Okay, I'm going to go back to the butter. So this is called, to me, like the first foam. And I should even give this a swirl. So see how it looks like super foamy on top and white? As it starts to melt and come up. And then you'll see as we keep cooking it, it'll clarify more, and then the bubbles will start to come back up again. So that's the second one. But this is our first stage. And then usually the only thing I want for the butter when it's done is pour it into a container out of that pot so it doesn't burn or keep cooking even. I mean, you guys know that fat holds a lot of heat in it. So that would be the last thing we want to do. I usually just pour it in a measuring cup. Just be careful if you use glass. And I guess plastic too. If you use glass, make sure you don't shatter it. If you use plastic, don't melt it. I'm gonna give this one more swirl. I can see just the way that the burner even like cooks. Not even. Oh, it seemed like it straightened out just now. That's much better. Do we even need to be up this high right now? Whoa. Okay, let me try and fix that. I just wanted to get you guys set down. We are in it. Now I need to turn the light down. Boom. Okay, and then after we're done the butter, we'll go over and do our little snipping at the Arrow Garden. Trim up our herbs for the garnish. And then we'll keep Samo updated to the chicken frying stage. Could you put your sage leaves in to make sage butter at this point? Yes? I don't see why not. Because the thing is, if you wanted herbs in there, if they got too dark, right, if they're frying, just take them out. But yeah, if you want sage butter, go for it. Michael, how's it going? Okay, so that's a new product, I believe, Annie, because people are kind of freaking out about it on TikTok. Like, people will basically weekly update the new products that come out at Costco. And that is something that has come out. But, yeah, we thought that's more for, like, catering use. Think about, like, garlic toast and all the things that you would use whipped butter for. Because you don't just use whipped butter on the regular every day. You use it more for, like, on bread and things like that, so it's really easy to spread. So everyone thought it was quite expensive for what it is, but if you did need it in a pinch, pretty cool that it is available. Give this another swirl. You can see how the milk fat's starting to cook out. Greek, every single day, whipped butter, we need it. You're busy a little bit, you're late, yeah, better late than never is what I always say, dude. 25 kilo comes in a block, wild. Gers, you're hilarious. I have things to be doing, so I can't stay, but I saw the dreaded word hollandaise in the title. Came in to tell you that the rumors are true. It can smell fear, guys. You have to be bold. May the force be with you. We got this, Gers. And because you came in and said that, I know it won't fail now. I hope you have a good day, though, whatever you are getting up to. Okay, swirl this again. You can see it's getting more and more yellow, not creamy looking anymore. Oh my gosh, yes. 25 kilos. Just drop it all on a flat top. Like, what would you even use that for? We're clarifying it, Greek, for the hollandaise sauce. Clarification process. I do it the easy way, no strain. Yes, yeah, how many croissants that would make. You guys know we love butter. Okay, so see how it's starting to get like clear bubbles forming on top? I'll raise you guys back up now. I think you'll be able to see better. So see how those bubbles look different than the first ones? And then yeah, you can still swirl this around as well, because as this clarifies and these bubbles build up, it's hard to see the bottom and like what's actually happening under there. But we're almost there. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial. I'll let it cool for a moment. So we won't take it too far before we pour it in the plastic container. But even if you make browned butter, still delicious. That's amazing. That's the greatest joke ever. Just for Annie too. Looks pretty straightforward to me. That actually made me giggle. But I have actually been told and read some other things. Oh no, did it get too warm? And read some things that some people don't actually clarify their butter. I don't know why that popped up, guys. It's being crazy. I think I'm gonna stop there. Let's turn this off. We'll come back over and I'll show you how it looks. So that's how it looks when you first take it off. So that's why I said swirl, swirl. Because the stuff is now like cooked onto the bottom of the pot. And you'll see when we pour it, really clarified. And that's why actually that looks like that. Because there was one time I poured it like super molten hot into the measuring cup. And then it left that little bit of stuff after. But you'll see it looks way darker in the pot than it actually is in real life. And I'm gonna pour all the yummy browned butter nubs. So that's what's on the bottom of the pot now, guys. But then when we look at this, super clear and bright still. And then this, I just like instantly go into hot water or some form of water to soak. You'll thank me. Way cheaper than buying ghee. I know it's not like completely dairy free, but still, that took us what, 5 minutes? Maybe? Okay, next stuff. He's doing cheesecake stuff back there. Next one, we're gonna get some egg yolks and a bowl for the hollandaise sauce. And then we still gotta get our herbages. I'm just gonna put this down there. There's pepper in that bowl. What the heck? Bonk doesn't clarify his butter for hollandaise. And yeah, Greek says like you don't want that brown butter, the brown part in the clarified butter. I just left that little bit that poured in because yeah, those nubs are so delicious tasting. But the actual like more burnt pieces, no thank you. There's peppers in these hills. Carson's. Okay, I'm gonna grab a small container. Crack the eggs into that, and then we'll fish the yolks out. We just need 3. And I guess since this is kind of our last thing with eggs, we'll also take out the ones we want to poach. So usually 2 each. Some people like 3. What is your report? Samo says 3. What do you think, Thomas? 2. Oh, perfect. We finished off the whole thing. Perfect. Don't break the yolk either. This is the scary part, guys. Keep that yolk whole. Away. We need a wiperoo. Might make more of a mess. Let's see. Let us see. So now we'll just grab into there and fish those out. You needed a little something. I guess I had brisket. Guys, I had some of the smoked brisket with sourdough this morning. Very delicious snack. It's rich, rich. I didn't ask yet. So what's everyone else cooking today? See, I did drop more. Get a lid for the egg whites. Gotta make scrambled eggs this week to use them up, guys. I think a breakfast wrap will be had. Dang, if I lived in Toronto, that's where they have the butter at that business Costco. Because, yeah, there's only a few in Canada. $304? That's not even expensive, though. Because when I tell you that we're paying like $6 per pound, that's actually not that bad. Get a whisk. And then from here, I usually go something hot sauce, something acid, and that's it actually, before we drizzle the butter in. But we're not quite ready for that. So I'm not gonna add those 2 things to it quite yet. You don't need to prep the yolks that far. Just put that stuff over here. I'm gonna take a really quick bathroom break. I'll be back in a moment. And then we will pick our herbs and then we'll check on our muffins because I feel like we might be able to start baking them on the stovetop. Be right back. have returned. Okay, I gotta see what you guys are cooking. Bonk's having a cooking break. Baked salad that needs to be eaten. You're not gonna let it die? Good job. Yeah, Annie, it's $12 a kilo. That's not bad. Greek had ribeye steak. You made it? Nice. With the compound butter, potatoes. Yum, dude. Cherry Pop-Tarts for a snack? Do they still taste like they used to? Lauren is back. Nice. You are going camping. Are you going to stream some of it? Sam has his hand up? Yes.
Do you still have castor sugar? Like the really fine stuff?
No. Why? What she need?
Just asking.
Castor sugar is not like really necessary. It's more just used in British recipes because that's what they call it. What are you doing?
It's just finely ground sugar.
Yeah. Nice. You had some oats. That sounds good, guys. None of the stuff we used to love decades ago tastes the same. That is a straight up fact, Bonk. Going to stream a gondola ride up a mountain. Camp cooking and stories? I wish I could be there. What the heck? That sounds so fun. Okay, I'm just switching the GoPro over. We're going to the Arrow Garden to pick some herbs. What the heck? That's also fun. So many new things happening. I think that looks good. Let's see. Is it going to be too bright? It's pretty bright over there. It looks good. The only thing I do want to say is I don't know why that popped up. Guys, I don't know why the battery is there. Again, but we're going to just deal with it. Little herbages. So I've already clipped the basil back like 3 times. It's growing like crazy. I have to message them today or tomorrow. 2 of the herb packets, guys, they didn't work. I don't know what happened. And so we know that they're guaranteed to work, so I gotta email them. It was the thyme and the mint. But we got the curly parsley, the Thai basil, the chives in front, and then the dill is hiding in the back. So we'll do some chive and dill, I think, today. I know, Sag, they didn't work. I guess they'll just send us some new ones. Try again. Look at the cute chives, though. Baby green onions. Okay, so we always want to go like from the bottom up when you trim herbs, if they're leafy like that. And yeah, honestly, the more that you trim these, the better it's gonna be. I'm gonna do this other big one in the back. The more you trim your stuff, the more they're gonna keep growing. It's magic. But I'm thinking we gotta make something with Thai basil. One of the really good things with Thai basil, I remember I had it in Thailand, was Thai basil pepper beef. And they put like peppercorns in it. I think it was green peppercorns. Very good stir fry. So we gotta try that. A sneak peek, Slam? Yeah, the grow house. Greenhouse, grow house. Same, but different. Okay, so we didn't get much, but it's better than nothing. Put that back over to the stove top. So I'll just grab a small container to put these 2 things into. I'll probably just chop these little chives with the scissors over the bennies. And then maybe even the same with the dill. There's no sense of like cutting it with a knife, I don't think, because there's not much there. This is where the kitchen shears come in handy. But let's keep them nice and fresh. We'll keep them in the fridge. They're so cute. Look at these. Boop. You feel like a middle-aged pilgrim when you eat oats. It's not good to eat a ton of oats because they start to strip away the good fiber from your stomach. That's something I've read lately. So if you guys are oat lovers, like I used to eat so much oats, oat fiend. Just be aware of that. Yeah, look it up. Look it up. Those are looking pretty dang good. They're not like rising overly. I guess it's hard to tell from where they started. But I'm gonna start turning on the pan on the stovetop, and I want to get these cooking off. We'll go medium low heat. If you put chia and flax on top, it helps. Oh, that's a good note, Annie. Because they have the digestible fiber. Okay, so you just need to add a bit of the other good fiber. Lauren, you'll eat a whole can of beans later. She's gas-powered. I think it's the same as we always say, right? Just eat everything in moderation. Bob's Red Mill, legendary company, makes little individual oatmeals with chia and flax. Well, there you go. So I guess every time that I put chia seeds in with my granola when I did oats, I did okay. How does this gonna go down? I'm gonna move our dredging station back over to the cutting board area for the chicken, the fried chicken stuff. Getting set for the rest of this stream so we don't get unorganized, disorganized. Samo maybe can be our chicken man, we'll see. Faceplant Kager's Red Mill. Where's Bob when you need him? That was so good. You couldn't find any info about oats being bad. Interesting. I don't know then. Maybe the info was different in North America. What?
Propaganda.
It's all propaganda, it's true. Okay, I'm going to the English muffin recipe. What does she say? Preheat your nonstick skillet over low heat, but then I read through some of the comments of people that made this, and they said medium low heat was better. Otherwise, they take forever and they don't really brown. So I went medium low instead. Literally in between medium and low. And then place your muffins into the skillet 2 inches apart. You don't want to put too much muffins in when you're baking them because then it's hard to flip them over. You don't want to get stressed out at this point. Trust me. Trust. So 4 minutes aside-ish, or if you use your instant read thermometer, 200 degrees Fahrenheit internal. I'm going to get a little container to put the cooked muffins into as we go along here. Yeah, we're from the future, Suzanne says, so we know stuff about oats that she doesn't yet. I like that. Misha's watching handball on the side, so hi, bye. Let's come back over. Samuel, why do we think the battery thing came back on? What a crazy guy. It is still working. Why is this so red? This one's like a strobe light. Try try and go with a different angle. Now that's better. Okay, that's our angle for baking the English muffins. This way. I'm just gonna set the sheet pan literally right beside the pan and where the camera is, so they're easy to drop into there. And then I always do a container lined with a towel. I guess you could do paper towel for when they're baked, so that they can stay warm and not dry out. There's gonna be 10, so it's quite a bit. Put that back here. And then obviously when we're almost done that, I'll get Sam to start the fried chicken stuff. You're actually only a few hundred away. Are you gonna get there today, Lauren? What do we think? Okay, that feels warm, guys, so I'm gonna start. Also, can I say, like, if this doesn't work, we'll just use bread.
Yep.
We'll just use bread that I baked last night. But I've never made this recipe before, so I don't really know what's gonna happen.
Don't worry about it.
I usually put my cornmeal in the pan. Foosball? We had a foosball table growing up for a bit. I was pretty dang good at it. Were you guys? So I'm gonna scoop it off and then flip it into the pan. Nice. So we know it's hot because the cornmeal's doing stuff. And I flip them upside down. Keep the other ones covered. We don't know how it's gonna work. Oh, that's really bright again. I don't know if we even need the light today, guys. I'm just shutting it off. We adjusted our own selves. Why was it so red before? I think things are happening. They're puffing up a bit. Exciting. It's kind of fickle what foods are considered healthy and not. I guess so, right? It like changes every year. Yeah, also that, like the bigger food companies will try and kind of sway what they want us to eat. I remember that back when they said, like, oh, margarine is so good for you. Everyone, don't use butter, use margarine. Well, that was just like their whole seed oil thing to try and get it all used up. And now there's a thing being like, yeah, only use like raw butter, raw milk, and all that sort of stuff. So it's like almost trendy, like how fashion is. I think it's smart to just go by how your body feels when you eat stuff. Lauren says micro trends. Yeah, okay. This is like puffing up a bit. I just want to see how cooked they're getting. It's not really browned at all, so I'll leave that. But it's working. I like that we can see the bit of like heat coming off of the cornmeal. Your mom came and stayed with you and asked you if you're still using seed oil. See? It's making its way around. Titan, this was the last week of the local farmers market for you guys. Did you stock up? Yeah, so many people, Lauren, I will say that. A lot of people that I follow online that have been like vegan, vegetarian, all of the things above, and now they just eat like straight meat. And that's why I always say, like, I don't judge how you guys eat. Because sometimes we have to eat certain ways depending on, like, how our body reacts to things. And our bodies are changing all the time. Okay, starting to get a little bit browned and crispy underneath. So maybe a few moments. They will get a flip. We ain't far away. Annie, you did a test? Oh, for your menu requests. Wait, where are those? Let me refund it to you while we have a second. It's not there. Did somebody already give them back to you? Because it's straight up not there. But I will complete Vanacor's Cook with Cannabis. Annie, what happened to them? Because I think even if someone accidentally clicked reject, the points go back. But maybe someone accidentally clicked complete. Okay, I'm flipping them over, guys. Look at that. Because I like to toast my English muffins for eggs Benedict so that they're not too soft with everything. Maybe go a bit higher on the heat, I'm thinking. Just a little bit. Whoa, okay. So now you can see how uneven my burner is. We'll just flip the pan around. I'm not gonna go higher. We'll just swirl that around. Okay, sounds good. But we are aiming for about 4 minutes per side for this. That's crazy. Yeah, when people eat paleo or just 100% carnivore. Brother, do you even know? Titan, you stocked up on non-perishables and some birdseed. You gotta take care of the birdies. That's one thing I miss. It's really hard, hey Lauren? I totally agree with that. It's hard to not eat refined foods because so much of what's out there is already. You saw a mom give their baby the bone from a steak instead of a birthday cake online. These are the things we need in our life. That's more like it. Okay, so looking like maybe these won't be the tallest muffins ever. But then again, it's just natural yeast in there. There is no help from commercial yeast. So maybe I won't expect it to be like 2 inches thick like the other ones are. I guess you're right, Cookie. Yeah, they're still actually taller than the store-bought ones. It definitely looked like the one that was on the higher heat cooked up better. So good to know. The property for sale. It's still for sale. Chat. Somebody buy it already. My gosh. It doesn't have to be me.
Does it still have all the land that was previously promised?
Like, how many of us have to go in? Did any of it get washed away, Titan? Or you weren't in that area? Okay, now it's browning more. Do we flip it back over? I don't know. This is also where I will say, like, if you're kind of worried about cooking them fully on the stovetop, I usually just keep the oven on at like 350 Fahrenheit. That if you don't want to even think about it, just put them in the oven after they're browned on each side, and then you can keep the process going in the pan. So I'll probably do that just to make sure. But these aren't gonna stick, so I'll just put them directly on the sheet pan. Okay, that one looks good. Boom. I will take it in a sec. So those are the smaller ones. Just let those finish there. But this one that I think looks really good. Let's see. Put it up on its edge. It's at 175. So almost there, guys. So close. Looking for 200. But yeah, I think it's that initial nice high heat that we want to get that poof and good baking. Where are we moving to, Mary? Exactly beside Titan. Not much flood damage, but a big mess with all the trees. So lots of firewood then. Lots of firewood. Samo, I think it's time for chickening. Yeah. We got muffins. No. Do those. Guys, after this, we only have 4 muffins to cook / bake. I don't know what to say these are. So in the meantime, just wait for this whole thing to get loaded up and we'll put them all in at the same time. I'm going to turn on the oil pot back here. Get that starting to heat up. And then same with the poaching pot. Both are onto medium. We will adjust as they heat up. I don't think we'll need any more cornmeal in the pan for the muffins. So we can get rid of that. Nice. So we got that brown speckle there. They look good. They actually look really good. These ones might actually be able to finish. And then the other part is we have to figure out how sour they actually are. Samo just strained all this stuff from the chicken bag, the marinade, just into the sink. And now he's gonna dredge over there. Imagine when the forests were filled with chestnut and hickory. I've always wanted to see like a pecan tree, different stuff like that. We want stove L, cut S. There you go, guys. That's the view of views. You're welcome. Now it's getting serious. There's 2 humans in the kitchen. I'm actually gonna move this over. Need more cornmeal. There. Two left only. We got that heat going. Perfect temp. You made pumpkin pie and a pecan pie this weekend? Yeah, just straight chicken tendies cookie. Do you need a sheet pen?
No, I'm good with what I'm doing.
Okay. Just wondering if you have enough room.
Should be frying soon, yeah.
Soonish, yeah. There's not that much oil. It already is.
Can't fry almonds.
Oh, I thought you said get the fryer on, please. Guys, the fryer's on. And he says, Sam, how would you feel about a German recipe from my Middle Ages cookbook?
Done.
He says, hope your German isn't too rusty.
Oh, it's pretty rusty.
It's rusty, but I'm confident. He's got this. Titan, a lot of the flooding probably took out pumpkin farms. Oh no, that's sad. They sank. I'm sure it did a lot of damage. Wow, it's really browning over there. We just put that one in. Swirl the pan back around. Everything's happening. They actually look so good. Is Thomas like, are we there yet? Or he's not that, like that? Parents can always help out. Yes. Where's the induction cooktop? Just in the storage room, Mary. Remember how it always affected my microphone before when we would use it? But we didn't sell it or get rid of it. It still exists. It's a good backup option.
Right.
I know, maybe we can try it now with the new microphone. Those muffins, the puffin. This one here, it makes it look so tall. I don't know if it's just the angle of this camera. But it's actually looking so good. I'll do one more flip now. And then we just have 2 left. What can I get you, dear? You want just a piece of parchment on top?
No, just wait till it's time to fry.
Okay. It's almost at 200. So it's not taking very long to heat up.
No.
It's a big papa muffin. And so guys, after this, after we're done the muffins, I'm going to slide the poaching pot over so that we can separate where we're both cooking together. And then I just use the poaching pot like as a double boiler to do the hollandaise in the bowl. So whenever I make English muffins, it kind of brings me back to the restaurant where Sam and I met and worked together, because there was a bakery downstairs that would come and use our flat top in the restaurant kitchen to make the English muffins on the weekend. And so then we'd always have to make sure like there's all this space cleared for them so that they could do that. But then they're only there for like maybe an hour to get them all done. And then we would also get some of the muffins that they made to use for the eggs bennies on our menu. So couldn't really like complain, right? The translation of the cookbook is How to Keep a German Man Strong. I love that. Okay, now that big thing is gone. Get rid of the towel. just put the pan in there for now. It's fine. What? That's where we're at. Just waiting on these two. You got it, Mary.
You going out and get Thomas, or are you fried?
Oh, I'm staying here.
Okay.
He's here? Chat, he's coming. I think we gotta open up the window more. Vent it. I have an internet audience and a real life audience. My goodness gracious. Some of you may have met Thomas before. I don't know if he loves being on the internet. And with this view right now, actually you can't really see him, but I will switch this since Samo's done here. Oh, we'll go back this way. Thomas, someone's coming. So this is our friend, our Inuit friend that we met working up in Nunavut. His family owns all of the land that is around where we worked at. He works for the environmental part, so really, really important to him that that land does not get effed up from the mine and what they do there. Also the person that helped me go for a helicopter ride. I went out with him one time to do a dust collection check to a site. That was super fun. And yeah, one thing that kind of brought us together up at camp was that he was one of the people that would want to watch F1 with us. And he's also very serious about his eggs Benedict. Funny how food always brings people together, right? Yay, Mary! How do you say that? Inupiat? So I should actually say he is Inuk, because Inuit means more than one person. If there's only one, they are Inuk. He's not a tank engine, is he? You're lucky he wasn't in here when you said that. I would have loved to see his response. Annie says that I can't get wild boar where I am. I've got wild boar bacon before. I think that's pretty much it. Okay, one more flip. Some of these muffins are kind of small. Other ones are proper size. We'll see if they puff up more in the oven. Fryer's almost at 350, so this should actually chime out perfect. Where I'm finished with this, I'll pop the camera back up so you can see where we're frying over here. And then we'll have the poaching pot over as well. Fun. Start to even out the temp of that oil too. I don't want to get it too insane. Everyone say goodbye. I will set maybe a 5-minute timer only for that. This pan is insanely hot. Don't just go to grab the handle. You'll burn yourself. Cast irons like that. And now, switch. Bring over our hollandaise bowl. We got our butter ready. I might just put it on the stovetop to warm it back up a bit. There we go, guys. Okay, so waiting for that to come up still. There is vinegar in there. I guess we can be done with that. Switch to a slotted spoon now. And then I gotta get ready to drop some chicken tendies in. But when Samo's back in here, he'll take over the frying. And then I'll do the poaching and the hollandaise. Okay. Slotted spoon for the eggs. We want, okay, when the chicken is done frying, we need something to put it into because it's always molten hot as well. So see where like simple things really can become a lot if you're not organized ahead of time. Take my eggs back over. We got muffin station and deep frying. Probably tongs will work the best. Not really small pieces of chicken. Get some nice long tongs. And then I'll grab one more thing. Is I just have a small oven rack to put into that pan. Because you don't want deep fried stuff to sit right on a surface. You want to prop it up. There we go. That way it stays nice and crispy. Okay. I'm dropping some stuff in. Wish me luck, guys. Oil is at just over, or no, sorry, just under 375. And now I have it turned down to medium heat. But I'll let you guys know how much this drops in temp when we put this in. Let's see. So we'll do a swirly a bit just to make sure that it doesn't stick on the bottom. Give it a swirl around and then you're good. That is the one thing about deep frying with breadcrumbs. It really messes up the oil a lot more. Because these are tenders, they are not going to take long at all. But don't worry, we got more to cook. That's why we got to start sometime cooking them. Sounds good. Oil's still sitting at the right temp. Ouch. Oh, this is where this comes in. So clutch. This is where it comes in. Guys. The splatter screen, even though we all like to watch the frying, you can also tell kind of which ones you put in first and last, because some will be darker than others. Okay, so oil dropped down to 350-ish now. That's my report. I don't know if I've ever had like chicken tenders made from tenders that I butchered myself. Probably gonna be unreal, Cookie. Okay. Can you guys see if I go here? Yes. So my egg yolks now for the hollandaise. Remember I said some kind of acid and then some kind of hot sauce, whether you like it really spicy or not. Gonna do a bit of buffalo. Our own homemade. It's not spicy. Like that. And then I'm just gonna do a little bit of apple cider vinegar. Lift this up though for a sec. Those are almost ready. You can also see the first ones that I dropped in. Oil was pretty hot there still. Last ones that I dropped in, not as dark. So a bit more. Did they die? They might have died. It's just me for brunch. Oh no, some of the vinegar poured out a bit quick, but I think we'll be okay. Me. Oh no. Knowing how much butter we're gonna put in here, it's fine. So then we mix those two things in. Looks kind of orange now when you do that. I'm going to take these first ones out. I'm going to take the first 3 out that look like this. The other 2 we can leave a few more moments. And they're probably done as well. And then we have these as well. Our muffins. So those should be done. Sneak them over here as well so they can start to cool off. And hopefully Sambo comes here momentarily. That's what I was waiting for. So now we don't want the pot for the eggs to boil. See how I like instantly turned down the heat? We want it to just be simmering. Turn that baby down. Keep in mind as well when we add the eggs, it will cool it off a bit. But first, we're gonna make our hollandaise sauce. Where did Sam put the thermometer? No, the eggs aren't gonna scramble. Oh, you said for the heat, Greek. I was like, no, the vinegar's not gonna scramble the eggs. I'm gonna leave the muffins in for another 5. They look like they puffed up, but I'm not getting a proper temperature reading. And they didn't get too dark, so I'm not gonna worry about it. All right, turning that up just a bit more. And I'm not even gonna really dunk the bowl fully in here. I'm just gonna use the like steam that's coming off of there to start heating the eggs up a bit to accept the butter. And you'll see they'll start to go like lighter in color, a bit foamy looking. Because if you touch the bowl to the hot water, you could actually cook and scald the eggs. Like Greek said, you'll have scrambled eggs. No, thank you. I'm just gonna check my phone to see if something happened to those 2. It's been a bit. Okay, nothing happened. At least not that I know of. Okay, this is almost there. And then we just kind of treat this like mayo. So you drizzle a bit, watch as it thickens. Give you that angle more. They're smoking. I don't know if they would be doing that outside. Okay, I'm gonna stir with my left hand and then drizzle the butter with the other one. Look, our oven's hot. It's getting thicker. So we go, keep drizzling. If it gets too thick, you can add some water. That is allowed. Just gonna do now, this is about how much butter I have just to show you. But now I'm gonna put that back on the heat a little bit. It emulsified nicely. It just seems a bit heavy. I don't know if it's, you can kind of tell. But yeah, just a bit heavy. We just need a touch of heat for those yolks and the butter. And then whip it up a bit more, get some aeration in there. Be a nice light sauce. And then maybe we could add the last bit of butter. Let's see. The oil's not going above 375. I'm just kind of keeping my eye on it on the side. If it was, I would turn off that burner since we're not frying anything in it right now. And then really the last thing we need is just to poach our eggs. That will take about 5 to 7 minutes. And then plate everything up. Wow, see how that got a lot lighter in color as we just whisked it over the heat?
I'm back.
Hello? Hello, everyone? How's it going? You're back with toys. I have one too. It's okay.
You got an extra chicken?
Yeah. The oil's good. Everything else is good. Just gonna taste the hollandaise. And then poach the eggs. Okay, that's good, guys. I think we can add the rest of the butter. Will be good. And we'll turn the oven off for the muffins. You excited for the race, Thomas?
Always. After qualifying, especially.
That was ridiculous. But also very fun. Okay guys, I'm just gonna leave that here to stay warm in the middle of the stove, wherever it can be flat, if that's possible. Turn this, there we go, perfect. And now we'll turn this up a bit. I usually like to see it bubbling before we crack the eggs into it. Samo's back. Thank you. And then the key once you're done your hollandaise is you can't get it too hot and you can't have it too cold. So make sure wherever you store it until you use it is a good temperature. Just gonna do a little bit of salt in there. But I think everything else was good. I'll have one more taste. That looks great. I think we'll just leave the muffins in the oven, guys, until we need them. They look great. Your sauce should coat the back of the spoon when you do a swipe. Oh, cookie, I like that. You saw Jamie Oliver store his hollandaise just in a thermos after. That's actually brilliant. Yeah. I'm good. I'll just leave it here. I need to heat it up a little bit more.
Yeah, whole field would have stayed dead. Break the whole field in the house.
I know. There's only 6 more things they have to do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough with the light.
Like,
Yeah, those are done, guys.
2 minutes.
Pile that chicken. Oh, good timing. Don't splash. Hot things are hot. Don't rush. Yeah, don't rush. What are you doing? Health and safety.
No, we have environment.
That's why I'm calling health and safety. He's always rushing, but he's not rushing. Okay, finally the water's at a point where I'm happy with it for poaching, so let's do this. So I usually will swirl the water with your slotted spoon. Make like a cyclone. We already have the vinegar in there. And then you crack your eggs down the side of the pot so that it hits the bottom and then comes back up and then coagulates together. So I'm gonna do 4, hopefully, in this. And you wanna keep this going. So usually after the first 2, I just do a quick swirl, go again. Try and like spread it out too so you don't crack the egg on top of the other one that's already cooking. Boom. Wash the hands. Give it one more small swirl. Those look great. Keep this stirring, because it will try and build up a film on top. And then, okay, nice. I got this oil dropped a bit low, but that's the last of the tendies almost. And yeah, Samo doesn't mess around. Okay, so now this isn't gonna really boil. We just want it to simmer. What do we need? That's for the eggs, so that you don't put watery eggs on the English muffins. Okay, Sam's clearing off the board now. Getting ready for a plating. Okay, we still gotta cook those ones. I'll just leave them in the fridge if you want. Okay. Heard. Whoa.
Maybe in the fridge dies.
Yeah. Okay. They're still really soft. But when it does come up too far, guys, you see how foamy it gets? You can't see nothing. That's why I said, ah. And then sometimes I'll try and like scoop that egg white foam off.
Yep.
Makes a raft. That one's ready to go out. You'll drop the next ones in. Okay. Thomas is on the caprinas.
Yep.
Caprinas? How do you even say them?
Yeah, right.
Oh, Jesus.
Don't worry.
It's okay. We're almost there, everyone. I gotta wait for that oil to come up anyways, so now Samo needs 3 plates. I'm gonna put muffins over here. Actually, we're just gonna put muffins in the bin that I had already. Muffins. Oh, thank you. Traditional? That's what they are? Or you never had a fancy one?
I've never had one, and there wasn't any lines at the store, so.
What the heck?
Cheers, everybody.
Canada. Cheers, Thomas. Thanks for
Cheers,
coming
sir.
over.
Thanks for coming over.
Yeah, thank you. I tried the glass this morning. It's really good.
I like it. I like limey things, so that's good.
Cheers, everybody.
Okay, I think that one's good to take out, guys. Fishing our eggies. The thing about these is they'll keep cooking a bit after you take them out of the water too. I've scooped one out so far. The other 2 need a couple more moments. Bring the hollandaise over for Samo. You want me to switch to a spoon now?
Please. I can get
It's okay. I'm gonna switch this. Very warm, yeah. Okay, grab these other 2. Look at that. That's pretty perfect. Nice. Okay, so first 4 poachers going over. While you wait for this water to come back up, I usually scoop this extra stuff out of the pot to keep the water clean if you are going to do more. If it's just egg white, I usually just put it back on the egg. Okay, last 3. Are you laughing? Whoa, it looks really good. Thomas, the chat is wondering if you bought the cachaça for the caipirinha, or if you just use vodka.
I use the proper stuff.
Cachaça?
Yeah. No idea how to say it.
Was it expensive?
That one was the gold bottle was $40.
20?
40.
40?
Yeah.
That's not that bad.
For a 1 liter bottle? Yeah.
Not so bad for like something higher end, or that's not really here all the time.
Enjoy, sir.
When's the last time you had a Benny like this? Perfect. Oh my gosh. Did we get a raid? I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. I'm in the egg cooking land.
Hello, hello, welcome in.
A fellow Canadian. We got a John. Hi John, how's it going, dude? I hope you're doing A-okay down in Calgary. And yeah, apparently you can get cachaça in Canada. Where did you buy it from?
I'm just checking.
Okay. He's checking, guys. And thanks, Mish, gifting the sub. We heart our food and drink streamers on Twitch. There's not that many of us.
The bond liquor discount.
Okay.
It was the Hamal Gold 1 liter.
Yeah, it wasn't even like a wine and beyond type place or anything like that.
We finished yours.
Samo says finish mine and eat, chat. So this is where we're at. So you got dill and chives from the Arrow Garden. Fried chicken tenders, sourdough English muffins, and then the holly that's so shiny that it's like reflecting off. We gotta turn the lights down. The hollandaise is so shiny.
It is very good.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
There, we'll just turn all the lights out. I literally turned all the lights out. There, a little bit more. We don't have a lot of chives, so we just gotta put little bits. It looks inviting. Even the little sauce sploot on the edge looks good. A little bit of dill. Okay, we gotta do the yolk crack. It looks like the morning sun. It really does. Enjoy. Thank you for your help to finish this. It looks so good. Whoa. The height of it, I don't think you guys understand how tall this is. It's kind of scary to try and eat. Let me cut into this. Thanks, evil monkey. I always do the picture before the crack and then after. Those are my yolks, though. So I don't like it super runny, but still runny enough that it'll like mix in with the hollandaise. Jammy. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Okay, and then one last thing. If I lift this up. It's so tall. Are they yummy? That was the first time I made those. Okay, let me go to this one because I don't think you guys realize, like, literally. Where is it gonna fit? That's the combo, that's it? Okay. Okay, first things first. We're gonna just move this for safety purposes. And then we're gonna cut this little cute muffin. Because I want a piece of the muffin, piece of the chicken, piece of the egg. The chicken. Ah, I can't even hold on to it. It's about to fall off. What came first, chat? The chicken or the egg? I'm very particular. Well, I feel like the first bite, you should have a bit of everything. Going in.
You gotta think about this. It's a pretty savage meal.
Mm-hmm. Fried chicken and eggs.
And sauce.
Yeah, they said it's a mother and child dish. Mmm. That English muffin, though. That turned out really good. It's not super sour tasting either, which is kind of crazy. The bread tasted more sour than it. But I think, yeah, we really nailed it. The chicken is so tender, guys. It just kind of melts in your mouth. The egg and the hollandaise, yeah, melts together in your mouth too, because it's basically the same thing. The breading kind of came off, but I'm not being too picky. Like, when you're eating the muffins, they don't taste sour, but then the little bit at the end, when you go to, like, swallow it, then it's like, oh, that's gotta be sourdough. So really good. Annie, you want to make gluten-free fried chicken? Now we need the gluten-free English muffin recipe. What's the one girl on Instagram that I follow that I sent you a recipe from her before? Check that. Greek, yeah. Minus half a point. The breading fell off. Well, because I judge myself too, right? Nothing's too salty. It also doesn't taste like overly rich, considering what it is.
Until we're all done eating it.
Just the fried chicken itself with the hollandaise is good enough. Mmm. Let's swipe that up. Egg and bun. It turned out We completed. That was a fun stream, guys. It got a little bit crazy there at the end. Look at how rosy my cheeks got. But we needed to. It's for a purpose. Pro baker skills. Yeah, so reading the temperature of the English muffin, that is totally what bakers do, is use a thermometer. So if it was 200 Fahrenheit and higher, you know it was baked. That's the easiest way instead of just guessing. It turned out so good. I'm done with eating and talking mostly, Bonk. And I need to sit and eat the rest. It's just hard to eat this and talk. There's a lot of stuff happening. The brownies are not gone, but probably after today they will be. Okay, who are we gonna go raid, friends? That was a fun weekend. Good weekend of delicious things made. If we feel like a German stream, we got sauerbraten, German soft pretzels, sauerkraut. That sounds fun. Who else is on food and drink? It's always hard to choose. Excuse me, also, belch of approval for the chef. Oh, thanks. Thank you. Okay, we're going to see Hippie Wayfarer. Hippie! He's making all the yummy German food. We will be back next week. Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific. Here's the drink as well. Cheers. It's yummy. It's yummy. I like that. I really like that. I'm not really a vodka person, so would recommend. Caipirinha, Brazilian drink. Mish is here. Don't worry, everyone. Okay. Hippie Wayfarer. Set up, ready to roll. I'm gonna send you guys over there. Hope you have fun cooking German foods with them. Thanks for hanging out for our quick and easy Sunday, as always. I hope you guys have a good week. Don't work too hard. What else? I think that's really it. I have no idea what we're gonna do next week for stream. I don't know yet. I have no plans. So if you guys have suggestions, let us know in Discord. Always down for that.
Just so you're aware.
Okay, we have Clean Plate Club coming in. ×2. Oh, good job, you guys. Oh, my God.
That was really
Good job. Okay. Thanks, everyone, for being here with us this weekend. Love you all. If you want recipes, they're all in our Discord channel. You know where to find us if you need anything else. I'm going to hit this button. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Why'd you whisper?